When I started my coaching practice over 8 years ago, I was charging around 40, 60 euros an hour to work with me. And now today I charge thousands to people that not only happily pay, but stay months after months, year after year, and never want to leave. Now, how did I go from clients that were uncommitted, not showing up on calls, not working with me long term, to working with high paying clients that want to be part of my world and want to work specifically with me? Well, this is exactly what I will break down in today's video so that you can attract high paying clients in 2026 that want to be part of what you're creating and that not only are way easier to work with, but make you feel like you're finally doing what you were always meant to do. That work of uncovering your highest paid offer is exactly what we do in 2 days inside my 3-day premium offer lab. So if you're currently at that stage of thinking, I know I have so much to give, so much to offer, feels a bit chaotic right now, or I'm sensing dread, something is misaligned, I highly recommend you schedule yourself in for that 3-part series right in the description below. Now, if you clicked on this video, you might have felt some dread in your business lately. Maybe things have been feeling sticky and slow. You just keep wondering why you attract those people in your life and you wonder if something is wrong with you. And it is nothing wrong with you. It is just a unclear signal. And that's my first principle for today. Sending a clear signal out. Our brands are medium of communication. They say something. They speak before we even open our mouth. And across all our channels, whether you're on one platform or 30 socials, the brand is sending a signal. And that signal basically says what you do, who you are, and what your world stands for. When that signal is unclear, people don't know it's for them. And what it does is 2 things. It doesn't serve as a great filter, as a great bouncer. It doesn't repel misalignment. And equally, it doesn't serve as a magnet. It doesn't attract alignment. And that's why the first thing we need to get clear on when it comes to attracting higher paying client is understanding who are we truly meant to serve. And here, before I even walk you through my framework to understand this, I'll give you a simple practice. When you tune into your body and you close your eyes and you ask yourself, if I was sitting in a beautiful seaside dining table and I was surrounded by the most epic people that I'm almost like blushing, gushing, fangirling over, who would they be? And this is where I want you to pay attention to what you're naturally attracted to. We all have tendencies, right? If you were brought up in corporate, your dream table might be tons of politicians or leaders in different industries. And this is what your body feels like, whoa, this would be so me at my highest level. And if you're like me and you were brought up a creative that was really into talents and, singers, actors, creatives of all fields, your dream table is people that are owning their craft, masters. That's my dream table, right? And so when you look at this, you see a picture, a glimpse of when you're fully owning your power and you're attracting people that are truly a match to you. And not only do you love hanging out with them, they love hanging out with you. There's reciprocity. When you feel that, this is the key sign to start noticing, who am I signaling to? When I started LinkedIn about a year ago, so I've been building my brand for 8 years now, mostly Instagram, my podcast, socials that are short form. And I just recently started LinkedIn Journey. It's a corporate platform at its essence. It's to get jobs. But recently it started becoming more of a social media platform to the likes of Instagram, YouTube, etc. And so when I started, I got in the trap of starting to sound corporate, trying to sound like a business person that talks in KPIs and Excel sheet. Well, I do not. And when I started doing that, it felt so off, almost like I was wearing the wrong skin. And this is what wrong brand signaling feels like. You're so in your head, you're not honoring your truth, and the signal gets distorted, cluttered. And what that does is it's no longer speaking to the one energy. We keep talking about client archetype. Ultimately, what we say when we say speak to one person, we say speak to one cohesive energy. Your leader that has 4 children, that's running on caffeine in the morning, is not the same energy type as a woman living on the beach, running a slow makeup practice and having a couple clients a week. Not the same energy. Now, that makeup artist could also be a painter. It could also be a singer. It could be the same energy. Your leader could also be a politician, could also be a worker. And what we want to identify when we identify ideal client archetype is what's the one energy, right? When we clarify that energy and we also understand what our brand signals, there's coherence, there's resonance, and our brand starts attracting high-paying clients and repelling misalignment. And you see here, I know you're thinking, well, what if my audience is, broke? What if they don't have money? High-paying client has nothing to do with someone's income. It has all to do with someone's alignment to your offer. How much someone is willing to pay for the solution you provide. That feels aligned for them, right? If your house is flooding, that's a big problem, okay? I bet you're willing to pay to fix it because you know the cost long term. You can let your house flood. What's going to happen? Not only have you ruined your carpet and your couch and your floor, you've kind of ruined the whole foundation. And so the whole house is ruined. Every problem has a compounding cost long term. And equally, every solution has a compounding result and positive outcome long term. And so when we're thinking about highest paying client, we don't think about the person with the most money. We think about with our unique core offer and solution, if we communicate it with a clear signal, who's the person that is willing to invest in that unique solution from you uniquely? It's the offer that meets exactly your highest excitement and your client's highest desire. Because back to my house that flooded, you have a big desire to fix it. It's not anymore, let me think about it. It's no. This is like, we're sorting this out today, right? You know what uncommitment looks like. You know what it feels like. There are tons of people that are uncommitted in this world. You and I also are, in some areas of our life, uncommitted. And what that really means is we're not willing to pay for a solution right now. Some people have been thinking about getting fit for the last decade. Have they done something about it? It's not a house that's flooding. It's not that urgent. They're thinking about it. What do you know? Doctor comes in and says, we got to fix that. And then all of a sudden there's an external factor that creates motivation. So that's what's interesting about motivation, right? Sometimes it is forced, like a flood. It feels completely out of your control, but it's happening right here, right now. We got to fix it. A doctor tells you to get in shape. We got to fix it. But there's also motivation that stems from desire, from a self-leadership, a want to up-level, to grow. And depending on your positioning and what you offer as a consultant, creator, founder, this is where we need to do the work of uncovering what is it for you that is actually the closest to the type of motivation your highest paying client will need to make a decision. Because we cannot sell motivation. We can only sell those signals, those doorway, those perfect moment where people say, oh my God, this is the invitation I've been waiting for because I was already at the edge of my decision. When we don't take people at the edge of the decision, it is really, really hard to sell anything. And so to do that well, you need to understand what's the motivation that's behind their choice of purchase. Understanding your client's motivation is one of the greatest work you'll do to start speaking to them directly and being able to sell high ticket offer, high paying offer on repeat month after month. Because once we understand motivation, we can create content and build a brand that's magnetic, a brand that attracts and send those signals out, right? I've seen a lot lately people saying, I don't want to talk anymore to like problem or pain. And I think it's misunderstood. If you do not talk about pain, people don't know that you have a solution to their problem. Every problem has a degree of pain, okay? When the house floods, it's a big pain. It feels like, okay, this is not really fun right now. If you are noticing your brand pictures are off, you don't look like yourself, it's also pain. Pain doesn't have to be deeply painful, like I just, cut myself kind of pain. It can really just be, oh, this is uncomfortable. This is misaligned. This is feeling off. This is costing me. Because that's the greater motivator. If we are talking to someone that's aware that there's a cost to inaction, this is when they're willing to really invest in your solution. And so when I want to recap here this section, it's really understanding what is the motivation of my highest paying client so I can start talking to them at the edge of that decision. And this is when we're coming closer to a sale, right? The client is ready to purchase. And when we build our brand long term, we can also create awareness around that journey from not being sure I need something to making a decision. But in my experience, selling higher ticket offer in the last 8 years and focusing mostly on clients that are willing to invest in themselves, I haven't picked them up when they were unaware they had a problem to fix. I've always met them exactly when they were at the edge of that decision and ready to invest in a solution. And so depending on your business, we don't always need to build those long cycles of awareness and nurture and getting people ready to buy. We can literally talk to people that are ready to buy today. There's millions of people in this world. And just this minute, I'm pretty sure there's a house flooding somewhere. Someone is waiting for a solution about this right here, right now. And so understanding where you position yourself as a brand and the cycles of sales, when we come to selling higher ticket, we don't always need to build such a long runway for our client. We can speak to them right here, right now, ready to buy. I'll close the video here today because I'm realizing there are probably 100 parts to meeting higher paying clients in 2026. So let me turn this into a series. I'd love to hear your biggest question around attracting clients that are willing to pay your worth, pay for your gift, pay for your unique solution. Drop them in the comments below and I will consider them for my next videos of this series. I hope you have a beautiful sunny day. The sun is finally back here on the island after weeks of rain, and I'm excited to see you live with me if you catch this in time, Thursday, December 11th for the Premium Offer Lab, my 3-day masterclass live event where I'm walking you through building a premium offer, creating a magnetic movement around your brand, and building a sales ecosystem that feels like effortless so you can sell on repeat throughout the year. I'll see you there. And again, thank you for tuning in, your secret co-founder.